Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. This is Let's Play a game from the Shawaverse collection. It's an early access demo. It's called Bring Me That Shawarma. It's made by the same people that made the Eye of Saturine game. They got a couple of other demos I might be able to try. So, I figured I'd give it a shot, see what it's like. OBS Gen seems to be doing just fine. By the way, I'm starting to take like B supplements. Not vitamin B, but that too. But bee powder, again, it's not like ground up bees. It's pollen, the royal jelly stuff. See if it has any positive effect. Though, of course, I would say to everyone out there, don't copy anything I do. If I'm taking a supplement or something, discuss it with your doctor first. I'm just sort of currently not seeing a doctor because that's too expensive. So I'll get back to that at some point when I have insurance again. But it's $20 for 120 things of a supplement. I'll give that a shot, see if it helps. I'm also eating a bunch of teaspoons of cinnamon. Now I'm also considering going to Buffalo Wild Wings and getting some burgers and buffalo wings and Pepsi. I do like some ice cold Pepsi, but yeah, I'm also considering just doing a straight up 0-calorie diet and just not eating anything at all. Which again, I would not recommend that to anyone else out there. That would be extremely dangerous. So, discuss with doctors and stuff. I'm just discussing out loud ideas I'm having on that. Also, consider the idea of eating 8 ounces of raw honey in one go. And so I would put 4 ounces into a measuring cup. That was apparently a far more difficult task than the honey was delicious, but yeah, it was way too much. So, in the same regard, I like food. I like cheeseburgers. I like pizza. I like ice cream. For a while there, I did kind of stop, and then of course I just sort of ate normally. Which again, food's delicious. Heck, I've seen some picture of this where a person had a giant burrito or shawarma. That looks delicious. Also kind of sexual. But it's this is Lunar D8. Just being hungry, horny, and lonely. Discussing my plans that both consist of potentially going to Buffalo Wild Wings and getting some cheeseburgers, or completely starving myself and eating pounds of cinnamon over the course of a week, and bee powder, and so yeah, not really decided on what to do with that. I'm at least ingesting a lot of cinnamon, but again, I'm not a doctor. Anything that you guys consider that, hey, maybe that'd be an idea, especially if it somehow has a benefit and all of a sudden I'm more athletic. Still don't do it yourselves. Just be hey, doctor, what do you think of this idea? Or psychiatrist, or your family, or friends, or whoever cares about you. Or if you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. Just saying, probably shouldn't take medical advice from a random crazy guy on the internet who is both considering, hey, I'm fat, I want to lose weight, as opposed to, hey, a large pepperoni pizza, some cheeseburgers sounds delicious. And I like some ice cold Pepsi. So, yeah. But yeah, I was just thinking a thought I wanted to share, but I guess I got distracted by talking about that stuff, is what if we let me double check OBS. OBS, you okay? Yay. About 5 minutes of me just being a dumbass. Oh, well, par for the course for me. And like I've said it before over and over and over again, I promise nothing, I guarantee even less. And the only thing consistent about my channel is a complete lack of professionalism, and that I may or may not have ADHD or autism, and a slight bit of depression. uh, Whatever. um, yeah, what if we put dolphins on the moon? Don't be wrong, we shouldn't actually do this because it would be very unethical, and it would probably result in the dolphins dying. Main thing it made me think about is like one, how we have, had humans or various animals go to the moon. But namely, we've had, though I don't know if we've had any aquatic animals really go to the moon. Though there have been studies saying that basically you couldn't have new generations of people live in zero gravity. That just, you know, conception, pregnancy, delivery, as well as just human growth, especially with babies and children and puberty, apparently would be a horrific nightmare scenario in a zero gravity environment, resulting in everyone dying. So obviously something that we'd have to figure out if we are to ever, go out to different planets and colonize things and the stars. Though it does remind me there was an anime, a very graphically violent one, called Terraformers, which basically they terraformed Mars by sending a bunch of cockroaches there. And the cockroaches evolved to be a bipedal race of superpowered beings that evolved to kill humans. I'm just kind of thinking, what if we put dolphins on the moon? Like, what if we somehow gave the moon an atmosphere and had, even in a small scale, like what if we went to the moon and we built a small space station on the moon, or a moon base? Now it's reminding me, maybe think of Whitest Kid You Know, the Lunar Bears thing, where like there's just bears with AK-47s wandering around the moon attacking. But what I'm saying is, obviously, this would be an interesting anime. Obviously, I'm not suggesting this actually be done. Though, if you're someone in NASA or SpaceX, why are you listening to me? But the idea is, obviously, this would be unethical and would probably just result in the loss of a lot of life, both human and aquatic, and a lot of wasted money. But the idea is, it's interesting, just thought experiment to think about, of what if you went to the moon, you built a self-sufficient base where it had, circulating oxygen and stuff in the air, and you made like a 2 million gallon freshwater, well, actually it'd be seawater at that point. Though technically some of the species can exist in both. Well, again, I think we're paying too much attention to small details of this. The main point is this. What if you had a few million gallon tank and you had a lot of dolphins? Now, obviously, that might not be enough room for them to exist on, but the idea is that that would be a much shorter, time frame. But the idea would be to, with the limited gravity that the moon has, because the moon still has gravity, just not as much as Earth, how would a body of water the size of a small lake, not just aquarium, like we're going beyond the few million gallons, like I don't know how many, let me try to look that up real quick. Go to this, how many gallons of water? Obviously, a lake is freshwater, but that's like already an insanely large size. But for a body of water on the moon to be, plus that would be a huge waste of water. Water is an incredibly valuable resource. It'd be incredibly wasteful to take it off the Earth where we need it more. Now, if there was a way to send a machine that could convert stuff in the atmosphere of the moon into water, not only would it function as a way of terraforming the moon, but it would either allow the moon to eventually become terraformed. Two, it would not take anything away from the Earth in terms of resources. But three, we could potentially turn that into a farm to basically mine out all the water. Which, again, that sentence sounds so dumb. But that's the best way to describe it, is that you'd basically be extracting all the water from the moon. And imagine you had all these gallons of water, and then you, like, shipped it back to Earth. But even if that was a feasible thing to where you could build machines on the moon, and even if there was an infinite amount of water that was available somehow off the moon, something to do with like outer space and the moon being like, obviously this wouldn't actually work, whether we're extracting it from the rocks of the moon or the limited atmosphere of the moon, which the moon really doesn't really have much of an atmosphere, does it? The idea is this: what if somehow, through some reason that defies all logic, that you had a machine on the moon that could, you know, infinitely produce water that, wouldn't normally exist. And then you had to ship that water from the moon to the Earth. Obviously, what would be the logistics of that? How much would that cost? Would you be trying to do small ships back and forth, making regular journeys? Or would you want to try to just prioritize having like just one massive freighter spaceship making a trip back and forth between the moon on a yearly basis? But I don't know, let's look at the details of that. How many gallons of water are in a lake? Okay, the volume of water in a lake is usually expressed in acre feet. 1 acre foot contains 325,000 gallons. Thereabouts a 10 acre, that's for 1 acre foot. 10 acre lake, 10 foot deep, 32 million gallons. How big are most lakes? Okay. How many gallons of water is in Lake Michigan? 1 quadrillion gallons. However, some enterprising mathematicians have calculated that considering the size and the depth of the lake, the Great Lakes in total contain 6 quadrillion gallons of water, and that Lake Michigan may hold roughly 1 quadrillion gallons. And of course, this is, I don't know how accurate that would be. What about that earlier question? Does the moon have an atmosphere? Because I would assume no. For a long time, scientists thought that there was no atmosphere on the moon, but recent studies have confirmed there is one. The very thin atmosphere, known as the exosphere, contains helium, argon, neon, ammonia, methane, and carbon dioxide. Now, there would be no way for us to know this, but let's ask Google anyway. How thick is the crust of the moon? About 50 kilometers. So how do you actually know this, though? How did we study this? Like, how did we... Like, obvious... Like, you can't... Like, how would we have actually figured that out as I scratch my scalp? About 50 kilometers. The lunar mantle, with a thickness of roughly 1350 kilometers, so 1,350 kilometers, is far deeper than the crust, which has an average thickness of about 50 kilometers. The lunar crust is thinner on the side of the moon facing the Earth, and thicker on the side facing away. Yeah, because the moon is tidal locked. How many miles thick is the moon? The moon's rocky... I meant the whole fucking moon, man. Why don't you just search diameter of the moon? Fine, fuck you. The moon's rocky mantle is 825 miles thick, made up of dense rocks, rich in iron and magnesium. Magma is the mantle that binds away the surface. Past the erupted volcanically for more than 1 billion years, or at least 4 billion years, 3 billion years ago. Does the moon have a liquid core? Scientists already knew that the moon has a liquid core, outer core. But what about the inner core? As it turns out, it is solid, just like Earth's core. It is about 300 miles in diameter, making up approximately 50% of its overall size. Diameter of the moon. Well, it says 2,159.9.1 miles. Okay, we got a little bit distracted. We're at 16 minutes in. I haven't even played the game. Mainly, why I'm just saying this, like, it'd be an interesting idea for an anime. Like, you just sort of like put a bunch of water on the moon, and you put like dolphins and orcas and octopus there, and you get like bipedal evolutions of those things. Though at the same time, I think about the orca, and I'm just like, I'm torn between you think about Kid Chameleon, where there was a sprite that was a bipedal orca, and then also I remember like certain VTubers like Shy Lily, like there's like imagine if there was an entire planet of just of a race of people that was like that. That would imagine they'd be really good swimmers though. Imagine the Olympics after that. Now I'm just imagining Shy Lily with a gold medal. It's like, yeah, what? Imagine one day for Christmas, I'm gonna have like 3 blue Vaporeons standing on top of each other next to a Christmas tree, and I'll be like, that is not what I meant when I wished for a stacked Vaporeon. Anyway, now that I've made the video as awkward as possible, we are discussing the potential of evolution of dolphins, or just even if, of course, we're ignoring the idea of the evolution thing. We're just saying, what if we had a long-term study of, say, 10 years, in which there were a few million gallons, if not a quadrillion gallons of water, having whether freshwater or seawater, depending on which is more appropriate for the animals involved, and just say dolphins. What if it was just dolphins? I don't know if dolphins would be happier if they had other aquatic friends. Obviously, there would have to be some things that would be food, but I mean, things that are not food or predators, they'd just be like, hey. Because I mean, there's many times where, like, dolphins, orcas, and octopuses have actually come to humans for help. I mean, heck, there was a story of there was a baby orca that its mom was tangled up in some cords with some buoys, and it actually came up to some humans and was right up next to the boat, just sort of sitting there nudging into them. And eventually it kept trying to lead them away somewhere, and when they wouldn't follow, it came back. And eventually they started following it. And it led the humans to its mother, who was trapped. And the humans, swam down there, and they cut the mama orca obviously would have been big enough, strong enough to do something about the humans, but the orca could actually tell that the humans were there to help. So that definitely does show something, that you're actually seeing animals like, and of course we're more familiar with land animals because that's where most of us live. But that being said, I imagine if I could breathe underwater, I'd still be kind of terrified to go in the water because, one, I know what's in the water. Two, if you go down far enough, it just gets dark and can't see anything, and it'd be like being in the sky, fear of heights, but in reverse. Plus the idea of kenophobia, agoraphobia, and claustrophobia. Fear of small spaces, fear of infinite spaces, fear of large groups of people. I don't know if fear of heights would work in this situation. I can't remember the exact wording of that one. And then, of course, there's arachnophobia. Let me Google's there. Look that up real quick. What do you call fear of heights? Can't remember. Everyone's like, your memory sucks more and more. Acrophobia. I knew it was similar. Otherwise known as common sense. Realizing that, hey, being up in a high place is perhaps not good for your well-being. If you suddenly change that. And of course, falling, I mean, especially if you were to go really fast, I mean, there's G-forces, there's changes of blood pressure, and then of course there's that sudden stop at the end where your bones may be suddenly broken horrifically, like they're made out of cookies, and then rip through your flesh. Why am I imagining the Cookie Monster now? That reminds me of the Burial Goods guy. He made a video. It was like, at first, Cookie Monster was confused. Why did God send him to hell? And then, as he witnessed all the other people were cookies, he realized he wasn't there to be punished. He was the punishment. Grover's mad quest. I don't know. Now I'm just like imagining like the various clips I've seen of analog horror that's made as comedy about Sesame Street. Everyone's like, what's happened? I don't know. I got distracted, okay. Main point being, it just, hypothetically, if you did have aside from the idea that would be an interesting anime, though I'd want it to not be a horror action like the Terraformers, because that's, like, it's more violent than Berserk, and it's got quite a bit of elements of horror in it. I'd want this to be more like Senran Kagura. They, the dolphins and orcas and octopus become cute anime girls, and it becomes like just a shonen anime, like the the evolved anime girls come down from the moon. It'd be like the Lunar Cry thing from Final Fantasy VIII. Like Final Fantasy VIII, how like all monsters come from the moon, and then every now and then, with like gravity changes, there becomes a Lunar Cry where it's all of a sudden the monsters just like sort of spill onto the earth as like a giant red flood of monsters coming out of the moon that makes it look like the moon's an eyeball that's crying tears of just floods of monsters onto the earth. But instead of, giant 5-foot tall mosquitoes and horses with curved razor blades on their heads and a giant fucking dragon turtle or literal T-Rexes, what if it's just anime girls that have, obviously wouldn't get hurt by the entrance of the atmosphere or gravity or impacts. I don't know. I understand it's a very impractical idea. But then again, most anime is not rooted in reality. It'd be a comedy sort of fan service thing. There'd be so much jiggle physics involved in this anime that I think we'd have to get some physicists involved. That we'd actually, it'd be hilarious. We would find aliens in outer space, and they'd be amazed, like, oh my god, you guys are incredible. We were a little not sure if you guys are going to get faster than light travel. I mean, honestly, you guys already made amazing progress. I mean, you went from like what 1908 or something of your calendar years, just discovering flight, or was it 1918? Isn't I think it was 1918. And then it's a little over 100 years later, you have faster than light travel that rivals ours, and we're like, how did you figure out the mathematics needed in order to not only figure out faster than light travel, but to completely shatter it? And they're like, big titty anime girls. They're like, what? Here, watch this. And yeah, I don't know where that would go at that point. But the idea that, the math involved in just all the jiggle physics, that we'd figure out how to. It's like we have Elon Musk's computers and his spaceships that are designed like we just have. It's like, what's in the black box? And it's just a bunch of, AIs considering how jiggle physics work in different atmospheres. And the computations for that allow them to figure out how faster than light travel works. It's just anime girl jiggle physics for titties. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this video? I don't know. The developers of this game is like, you're making our game look bad. You haven't even played our game. I'm like, I played Ice Atchery and I thought it was a good game. Like, you only did one part. I'm like, I know, I don't think I'll ever get back to it. It was a good game, but yeah, I kind of jump around. Yeah, just saying. realistically, all the joke anime shit aside, and obviously this experiment would be a terrible idea because one, especially if we take water from the earth, it's a waste of an extremely valuable resource, as well as the cost of doing this to begin with, and what would we hope to really gain in terms of knowledge that could help anyone? Not to mention, it would probably result in the deaths of the dolphins, even if it went well, because at the end of the day, you wouldn't be able to sustain it. And also, then there's the idea of this: you'd have to protect the atmosphere of the moon wouldn't be good enough to protect them from like radiation. So there'd be so many factors to keep in mind. And you're like, what radiation? I mean, the atmosphere of the Earth protects us from certain ultraviolet lights. So I don't really know. Like, even if you had it an indoor sort of greenhouse type thing, I mean, you might have to make it where there's no, like, just straight up walls, and you just make a fake ceiling that's painted to look like a sky, like out of the damn Truman Show. Why are we imagining Jim Carrey being put in charge of this? I don't think Jim Carrey wants to go to outer space. I mean, yes, he's a funny actor and I enjoy his stand up, but and Fire Marshal Bill and all that. Now I'm imagining Fire Marshal Bill on the moon. What if Deadpool met Fire Marshal Bill? Okay, whatever. Anyway, the main idea is this: if you were studying not only the practicality of how you would do that, but all that aside, hypothetically, if you had 1 quadrillion gallons of water on the moon, and you had a bunch of dolphins and orcas and octopus and all other animals in this, that would be a functioning ecosystem, and you had whatever devices in place to get all the test results you needed, perhaps even humans on site doing scuba diving and stuff. The idea is this: how would water function under the moon's gravity? It's one thing, like, okay, you see like a small thing of water, mind you, yes, but I'm saying a 1 quadrillion gallons of water held together in one lake as one cohesive, body of water. And everyone's like, that's how water works. I know, but I'm saying, and of course, also imagine when it starts evaporating, like, would you eventually get naturally occurring storms? Even if it's very small and unnoticeable? And what do you mean by that? Like, I mean, literally, it's just like sprinkling on occasion, and you have clouds the size of a basketball. Like, I don't know what 1 quadrillion gallons of water isolated by itself would do. But main point is this: how would that water function? Like, would it actually stay somewhat down, or would it expand to fill whatever space? Like, would you have to build a completely enclosed aquarium with an airlock system in order to get in and out of it? Like, the idea is this: if you build, if you build a giant aquarium, which again, oh my god, the resources needed for that. But hypothetically, if you did that, would there be a layer of air on top of that? Or would the water expand under this circumstance because of the gravity? Also, say if like a dolphin or a orca or something were to jump out of the water under those gravity circumstances, how far would it be able to jump? Also, especially the sides and stuff, what if that got broken? What if it swam into those things? What if it got polluted by like something broke into it, and all of a sudden you just have minerals from the moon just sort of leaking in? But the idea is this: how would the water behave? How would the animals behave? How would they feel? How would they be swimming? Would they be swimming faster? Also, hypothetically, if you were able to, like, I'm thinking like Gray Still Plays sort of stuff at this point, because I've watched him like play stuff like Species, which is hilarious, but also realistically, if you were to do that realistically, like with actually living things, it would be very cruel and heartless and very unethical. But in terms of a video game, it's hilarious, and especially his reactions to things. Gray still plays, does it like Solar Smash, Universe Sandbox, Happy Wheels, bottle runs, Grand Theft Auto racing stuff with cars, and doing stuff where he just sort of all around abuses physics. But his species is a very interesting thing, but yeah, it's very interesting, but at the same time it would be very unethical in real world. But in terms of video game, or just thinking about it, it's kind of cool. And the other idea is this. If you were, like I was saying with the gray still plays species things, if you were able to have literally thousands and thousands, if not millions of generations, if not, like if you could hypothetically have 1,000,000 years of evolution under those circumstances, where nothing compromised the integrity of the giant artificial lake on the moon, how would all of the life in there change? Like, given the fact that they would have an abundance of resources and that, well, you have less gravity on it, so I imagine a lot of the animals would start to evolve to be bigger and faster. And a lot of the bones and muscles would probably be less dense. Whereas if it was higher gravity, they would evolve to become a little smaller and more dense to survive the gravity. But the idea is this. How would that work? Because it's one thing, humans, because we're limited being on the ground. But what about beings that are naturally living in water at all times? You're like, what about birds and flying? Well, the difference with that is birds aren't flying all the time. They spend a lot of time not flying. Whereas aquatic life is either always swimming or sitting and resting in the water, fully submerged. And water changes. Like, your body weighs, it feels like it weighs less in water. A lot of the animals will probably evolve to become fatter too. Extra blubber. It would probably help in swimming. Okay, I've spent half an hour talking about what would it be like, how would water behave, and how would dolphins behave in an outer space lake on the moon. Okay, let's play this actual game. Warning, this game contains flashing images which may not be suitable for people with photosensitive epilepsy. Viewer discretion is advised. Warning, this game contains references to rotten shawarma, alcoholic beverages, and other unpleasant and strange things. Okay. We have Doiver Kebab, Dover, genres horror, trash. How is trash is a genre? Oh, okay. You're advertising a different game. And this game has actually already come out. So this is like a sequel to it. Can I scroll down to this? Because I remember seeing there was you guys made Eye of Saturine. I saw another demo, which I'll probably do next, called like Broken or something. Then of course this one's called Bring This Shawarma. But this... Is this start this game or start this game? Fear and loathing in Samara. Gray days, work, depression. Sometimes it feels like there's nothing I can do that make you happy. Only shawarma can help chase away the sorrow and bring back the colors of the world. But what to do if you suddenly find out that your favorite shawarma shop is open for the final day? But yeah, Doiver Kebab. Okay, so this is a game that came out over 2 years ago. I don't know when Eye of Saturine came out. I don't know what this is. There's a game called Broken that's a demo somewhere. We are playing this demo, and there's also this game. Can I click on this? I can. White blood. Food, horror, body horror. Katya is discharged from the hospital after food poisoning, and after a while, strange changes begin to happen to her body. Can I click on this? I can. How do I not? Shawarma! Congrats on your recovery. You are fired. Fuck you. Dicks. I can't click on this. I don't know what language this is. I assume Russian. I feel like Russian would be like one of the hardest languages to ever learn. The Shawarmaverse, or Shawaverse collection. Early access demo, games in development. Episode selection. Bring me that shawarma. Roman is an ordinary courier. What do you mean? So these are 3 different games in one? Is that what you're telling me? Roman is an ordinary courier from not the most prestigious food delivery company. Lately, strange things have been happening in the city. Animals have begun to behave differently. People around them seem to be in a sinister conspiracy. Will our protagonist be able to deliver the shawarma and still stay alive? Okay, so this is actually 3 different games in one that are a demo of each one? I'm gonna go to the store page real quick. Click on this. Pause that. Visual novel about shawarma consisting of multiple episodes. Okay. Pause that. Go back to this. Okay, so I guess we do it in order. Okay, so all 3 of these games have already come out, but it's early access for this because this part's not out. But they also have another game that's in early access. It's called Broken. We'll probably do that one next, maybe. But yeah, so I guess we start with this. Start. This work is so exhausting. Sometimes it seems there is nothing in this gray, boring life that can make me happy. One day follows another, and it goes on and on. Sooner or later, it will drive me crazy. But it has yet to happen because I found something worth living for. I'm talking about shawarma. It is impossible to imagine life without it. Every time you think life is terrible, just order shawarma. There it is, a simple recipe for happiness. It's too perfect, isn't it? Nothing in this life is ever that easy. Of course, there are a couple conditions. First, you need money. And second, not everyone makes really good shawarma. And while the former is largely up to you, the latter is much more complicated. You're doomed if there's not a good shawarma shop in your neighborhood. Delivery doesn't always save the day either. Usually the biggest evil dwells within the courier service. But that's not the point now. Before I moved here, I lived almost in the center of the city. It seemed like everything was within an arm's reach. Entertainment, fashion stores. But as you might have guessed, one thing that it did not have was good shawarma, and the food delivery was utterly crap. Life there was completely gray and joyless, so I decided to run away here, on the outskirts of the city. Yeah, it's not the nicest place, but it has something you won't find in the center. Delicious shawarma. This cafe makes the most delicious shawarma I have ever tasted. Only here, you can get a ton of sauce and meat. There's also shawarma with a special sauce from Chef Vadim. People in the reviews say that it is several times tastier than the regular one, and it has even more meat. An elite dish for true connoisseurs. It is a dream of mine to taste it, so why haven't I done it yet? Because it is the same price of 3 regular ones. I am just fine with the regular. It's hard to imagine how shawarma can taste better than that. And what if I buy the special one and I'm disappointed? No way will I take that risk. Maybe sometime in the future, when I have more spare money. Here comes Chef Vadim. Put on your mask. Shit, I totally forgot. Phew, everything is a-okay now. I'm gonna order another shawarma to go. Maybe I'll also try to find out more about the special sauce. The sounds. Hey, Vadim. Hey, hi, sorry, I forgot your name. Katya, my name is Katya. So, Katya, did you want something? I want to order a shawarma, medium classic to go. Anything else? Can you tell me more about the shawarma with special sauce? How much more flavorful is it than the regular one? What kind of sauce is it? Does it use any secret ingredients? Buy it, and you'll find out. What do you call that face? Ooh face? Oh, maybe next time. Damn it, although it makes sense he does not want to reveal his secret. When I get home, I upload a picture of the shawarma to pick today. It's good to have such a wonderful cafe nearby. I don't go to any other shawarma shops. There's a reason for that. I have bad memories of almost every one of them. Oh, I have options. I should keep short videos. But for now, we'll keep going. Salty shawarma. One day I decided to order shawarma from the most hyped delivery service in town. Prices were pretty good. However, free delivery there started at $50. But that didn't stop me. After all, shipping to my neighborhood was only $3. I ordered 2 shawarmas and waited. 40 minutes later, the courier arrived. Since it was my first time ordering there, I didn't pay online, but chose to pay by card upon receipt. I thought I'd just pay quickly and get my shawarma, but no such luck. The terminal was tedious and stubbornly unwilling to accept payment. It only lasted about 10 minutes until it worked, but it felt like an eternity. So when the payment finally went through and the courier left, I was left alone with the shawarma. It seemed like it couldn't get any worse than after that. Oh, how wrong I was. The long-awaited shorta was unbearably salty. What the? How could it be so over-salted? What the hell happened? Did my crazy sister run by and drop a container of salt in a pot of sauce? Seriously. I can't believe a person in their right mind would salt shawarma like this. It either happened by accident or they just decided to troll me. One day I heard a rumor that there was another shawarma shop not far from me. I decided to pay a visit there. The outside of this cafe didn't look like the best. It's the inside that counts, right? Of course, it was even worse on the inside. Dirty tables, shabby chairs. Did they ever clean this place? But there has to be a balance to everything. There must be at least one reason why people come here, and this place hasn't closed down yet. Maybe they cook good shawarma. At my own risk, I ordered the medium classic. And it was just about the driest shawarma I've ever had. But I wouldn't be a pro at what I do if I didn't buy 3 in one coffee. It made the situation not so hopeless. But the amount of gristle and other dubious elements in the meat was absolutely staggering. At least they started producing wet wipes with their logo. One day went to an anime store. At first I wasn't planning on buying anything, but then I saw the Dakimakura of my dreams. I thought about it for a long time and hesitated, because it cost a lot. Because of the price tag. I needed time to gather my thoughts, so I went to the shawarma bar that was nearby. Truth be told, I was hoping that after eating the shawarma, I would forget about this stupid, expensive idea and just go home. Spoiler, it didn't work out. The shawarma bar was average. It was clean enough inside, and the saleswoman cook was polite. There was no sign of trouble. Why does that look like a face? Like that one cup, the mug and the plate looks like eyes. The handle kind of looks like a nose, and the glass with the black liquid in it, it looks like a mouth. And the shawarma looks like a giant shield, like it's a medieval warrior. And then my shawarma was ready. The first thing I noticed was the dry pita, which was cracking and crumbling from any touch. Okay, she overheated a little on the grill. That's a common thing. But then something happened that shocked me. I took a big bite that was cold. Vegetables. Cold vegetables. The picture immediately came together. These vegetables had just been pulled out of the freezer, and then the shawarma had been tortured on the grill for a long time, hoping they would warm up. It was a very horrible idea that I had never experienced before. A horrible feeling. I've had shawarma from the fridge, but it was completely cold. But here, the pita, the meat, and the sauce were warm, while the absolutely cold vegetables lurked in the depths of the savory perfection. What a cringe. What a crime. I'm never going back to that bar again. Enough stories for today. We are hugging a giant shawarma pillow. That is... Gotta go to work again tomorrow. At first I thought being a computer wizard was a dream job. Build custom PCs, troubleshoot problems, and enjoy what you do. How wrong I was. Mostly the work of such a master of the craft is cleaning out old computers from dust, and also fighting porno banners for the most idiots caught from trying to download Guru hentai on some dubious site. Yes, a dream job indeed, and it would be nice if it paid well. The shawarma is blushing. There are rumors that the computer wizards earn millions and just bathe in money, but it is not so, or not quite so. The slick ones may get a lot, but honest workers like me don't. The agency takes most of the money. You can work without one, but then you must find clients yourself, which is an extra bother. More than anything, I want to break out of this vicious cycle. I even have a plan to do it, but I would need help from my sister, who is currently in therapy. She used to be strong and humiliate me, but now she's different. Medication has completely killed all the anger and hatred in her. But I believe I can get those precious qualities back and point them in the right direction. 1 month later. The work week has finally come to an end. Today is also payday. I need to celebrate by buying shawarma. 5 minutes later, I am on my way to the shawarma shop. I feel absolutely tired, but the thought of hot, delicious heaven gives me energy. I'm walking pretty fast, even running in places, as if I'm late for a date. Although in a way, it could be called a date, because I love it and our feelings are mutual. There is no limit to my joy. Nothing in the world can spoil this evening. But an unpleasant surprise awaits me. I notice hangs at the entrance, stating that the cafe will be open for one final day. Today. My strength leaves me. Once I make it inside, I sprawl out on one of the couch-like seats. How is that possible? No, I refuse to believe it. It must be a joke, right? If so, it's a very bad one. It takes me about 20 minutes to regain some of my senses. Reality sinks in slow, painful bits. It's not a joke or a dream, or a bad dream. The cafe's truly is closing. And today is the last day. If I were to come tomorrow, then I would have lost the chance to savor the taste of my favorite shawarma one last time. The thought of it scares me, the crispy pita, the succulent meat, that white as snow sauce. I have to remember that flavor forever. It's decided. I'm going to order more shawarma than usual today. Much more. Honestly, I do the same thing. There's a reason I'm such a fucking fat ass. Then again, it makes me wish there was a place that sold shawarma. anywhere near me. Today only 50% off shawarma with special sauce. I'll take 2. Vadim, I'd like to order 2 shawarma with your special sauce. I'll do it all in the best way. Okay. The wait takes quite a while. Okay. Why is it taking so long? Well, he's probably doing his best and cooking with love because it's the last day. I bet he puts his heart and soul into it. When the shawarma is finally ready, I leave with haste. Staying there is just so unbearably painful. I will say that there was a picture of this game in which there was like a giant shawarma. It wasn't the body pillow thing, like it was like a huge shawarma, which again, I'm a fucking fat ass. I'm just saying, if I went to a place like, hey, do you want a 5-foot long burrito? I'm like, sure. Staying there is just so unbearably painful. I'm home. That wasn't the person in that picture, like, let me go back to the Steam page. Ah, Broken Inside's the one with the pink-haired girl munching on a giant, just huge shawarma. I mean, it's just like, yes, I'm fat. Let's see, Broken Inside. Cheyenne's calm and measured life comes to an end when she meets Akiko. This encounter has the chance to change her life or plunge it further into the abyss of depression and hopelessness. But it's got a cute, adorable picture of a person eating a giant fucking burrito. And everyone's like, a shawarma's not a burrito. Yes, it is. It's just a different type of burrito. Would Taco Bell ever be able to make a shawarma? I'm pretty sure anyone who actually makes a legitimate shawarma is like, for the love of God, just get a place near you that makes shawarma. Or make it yourself. Don't wish the atrocity of Taco Bell making a shawarma. That's like... That would be like if Arby's suddenly started selling a New York-style pizza. Everyone would be like, no, that's horrible. Gotta hurry up and get a picture with the shawarma. It didn't turn out well, but no time to fix it. My favorite fast food is getting cold. There's some soda left over from yesterday. Time to eat. Well, bon appetit to me. Closing my eyes, I leisurely bring the shawarma to my mouth and take a careful bite. The pita is soft and slightly crispy, just the way I like it. Just a little bigger bite and then the sauce will flow. It took a while to get home, but the shawarma is still quite warm. Why is their door open? The flavor, it's not what I thought it would be. It's not even up to the level of a regular one. What the? Is this a prank from Vadim? Is 50% off an excuse to cook carelessly? What's wrong with this day? My favorite shawarma shop is closing, and instead of elite shawarma, they made me something ridiculous. I had planned to immortalize this day in my memory forever. Well, that's why you would buy the 2 deluxe ones, but you'd also get a normal one as well. That way, just in case you are disappointed. But now I just want to shove it out of my mind and into the abyss to never return. Let's reread that. I got distracted. I had planned to immortalize this day in my memory forever, but now I just want to shove it out of my mind and into an abyss to never remember. After finishing one shawarma, I tried the second one, but it's even worse. It was the best shawarma shop ever. I still can't believe it's closing. Free shawarma with no sauce. I remember the second time I decided to order food from the most hyped delivery service in town. Maybe they accidentally added too much salt last time and it would be better? I ordered 2 pieces an hour before closing time. This time I paid immediately in the app so that I could just pick up the shawarma from the courier without any hitches. When it was 10 minutes to closing time and the status of my order still hadn't changed, I got nervous. When I was about to call support, the order status changed to dispatched. In total, the wait took about 2 hours. They finally brought it to me, and as an apology, or just by mistake, they put in a third shawarma for free. How generous. These people knew how to apologize. But looking more closely at the paper envelope, I noticed that there was a check mark for no sauce. No sauce, Carl. I thought things like this just didn't exist. Who in their right mind would order shawarma with no sauce? There was a checkmark made for cheese, but at first I didn't pay attention to it, and that was a mistake. I didn't believe until the last minute that the shawarma was actually no sauce. But I took a bite. It really was without sauce. Unfortunately, that was not the only problem. Literally right away, I felt a strange taste, like something had gone bad. But soon I realized it was the taste of cheese. The situation with the shawarma bar, typical Oleg, was quite on the schizo level. I recently ordered a shawarma with a double portion of sauce. Yes, I keep pronouncing it like the epic mealtime thing. Fast food lasagna. French fries and juice. Jew. Yeah, sauce just works better with delivery. The order arrived quickly. The courier was polite. I was really hungry and didn't even bother to check my order when I received it. The first question I had upon unpacking was, where are my fries? The second is, why is the sauce in a separate bag? Whatever, I would deal with that later. The most important thing was that the shawarma should be delicious. After taking a bite, I got the answer to my first question. Who put fries in the shawarma? And at the same time, put the shawarma sauce separately. Is everything okay there? Driven by righteous anger, I called the hotline. Support said they only sell French fries as part of the shawarma. What the hell? When I asked about the sauce, they couldn't find anything to say. Well, at least they didn't spill the juice in the shawarma. Thanks for that. I will never order from typical Oleg again. Oh, I don't feel well. Cringe stories. Read all the stories in the episode Fear and Loathing in Samara. I try to get out of bed, but suddenly everything around me goes dark. What? Where am I? This doesn't look like my room. What's that sound? Is someone yelling? It is far away, but slowly. It comes closer. Did it stop? Oh no, what is this? What are they doing in the pot? Are they yelling? What the hell is going on? Get out of here. Yell somewhere else. I barely chased those freaks away. Where did they come from? Oh, my stomach's churning. And end of demo? That's better. Okay, I just need to drink some water and then I'll be fine. I turn on the tap and the cup fills. I fail to realize anything wrong until it is almost full. Hello? Hi, water that isn't right? What's that in the glass? Something white and thick, with a nasty smell that's so familiar. Is that rotten white sauce? The glass falls out of my hands. The room plunges into darkness again, and then a white, oily substance drips on the walls. I don't go any closer. It's already clear what it is. And those yells, they're starting to get close again. I freeze in shock, not knowing what to do. Katya, come here quick. I hear an unfamiliar voice. But from where? A moment later, someone grabs my arm and then drags me to the bathroom. Hey, I think that's our sister, isn't it? Weren't we talking about her? Isn't she in a mental asylum? We're safe now, but another second and he would have gotten to you. Okay, I feel like I'm missing context. I stare in amazement at the girl standing in front of me. She looks good-natured and cute, but why is there a strange girl in my apartment? Don't you recognize me? She senses my confusion. No wonder, because it is written all over my face. I take a closer look at this stranger. Her dress looks very crisp. Are you my Daki Madara? Are you my shawarma body pillow come to life? I mean, okay, we are a body pillow burrito waifu. My burrito body pillow has become sentient. The brown of the dress is the pita. You have the tomatoes there as a belt sash. And in the hair and on your collar? Choker? Sash? Necklace? Tie? What do I call the thing around your neck? And of course, the green accents, especially in the bottom, are supposed to be lettuce. Okay. My shawarma has become sentient. That's going to make it eating her later awkward. I meant that as a sexual joke, but it also comes off as something a bit disturbing, too. Not entirely sure what the genre we're going with right now anymore is. And the frills on it are so juicy. What the fuck? Her dress looks very crisp. And the frills on it are so juicy. It's like her voice is crispy. And she enunciates so juicily. Apparently, is that an adverb or an adjective now? I don't know. The cute bow around her neck is also very appetizing, that it makes me drool. Okay, now imagining just a cute, wife anime girl waifu and just sort of kissing her neck. Graham, I'm not the kind of person that would bite someone's neck. I have had a few partners that wanted me to bite them. It's awkward. But I'll kind of playfully bite. Same way I do like having my neck kissed and playfully bitten very softly, but at no point should either person be leaving a mark on the other person, because that's where it's uncomfortable. But that is kind of a ticklish spot. Just looking at her it's like a very dialed back, relaxed, chill form of I'm hungry and horny. We have just described Lunar D8's constant existence. Except I don't have sentient shawarma. Well, I mean, I did say earlier we wanted a 5-foot-tall fucking shawarma to eat. So I'm just saying, I like her burrito. Let's go back and reread that one thing. The cute bow around her neck is also very appetizing, that it makes me drool. The whole side of her reminds me of the main joy of my gray life. Of course, how did I not realize? Look at that little smirk. That's actually kind of cute and adorable. You're a shower. Why can we not talk? What can I say that sounds normal? Yes! You can call me Shawa-chan. I don't know how to pronounce that. The girl gives me a lovely smile that immediately overshadows all the misery of the evening. Nice to meet you. I extend my hand to her in a greeting gesture, but suddenly I see. Oh no, it's that nasty thing. Wash it off, quick. In a panic, I try to wash my hand under the running water. What the? But instead of water, the familiar white substance starts pouring out of the faucet with a disgusting squelch. Shawa-chan gives a startled scream, and I try to close the tap, but the flow of rancid liquid doesn't not stop. The situation worsens. The sauce not only spews from the sink, but it is running down the walls and leaking out of the toilet cistern. From somewhere far away, savage yelling approaches us. Oh no, are those freaks back? No, there's something wrong with that yell. It's even creepier now. A splash makes me turn around. In the dark corner of the bathroom, a shapeless slurry turns into something horrible. My life will never be the same again. My head hurts. Damn, I feel so bad. I can't see. My eyes are blurry. Shawa-chan shout brings me back to reality. She runs out of the bathroom and I sprint after her. Is it safe here? Shawa-chan hides behind my back, peering tensely into the darkness of the doorway. I try to catch my breath. Luckily for me, there's silence. No yells. No vile sauce. Sauce. Just say sauce. Stop saying that enunciation. Just say sauce. It's sauce. Just say sauce, not sauce. Sauce. We can't stay here. We have to leave as soon as possible. I step back and try to make out Shawa-chan's face in the semi-darkness. She looks so scared. If my condition were better, I would certainly find it cute. You look very pale. Are you feeling okay? I don't understand what's wrong with me. What's wrong with my apartment? Why is everything coated in sauce? Just say sauce. I think it's after me. If I'm caught, I'll be hopelessly spoiled. The thought of that disgusting white sauce touching this beautiful creature makes me even more horrified. If only there is something I could do to comfort her. The situation is already giving me the itch. Wait a minute. Something actually touched my leg. I look down and... sauce. Sauce. Barbecue sauce is leaking up from under the baseboard. Something bubbles in the corner again, and a familiar silhouette appears next to the refrigerator. Holy pita bread! What a stench! Katya, please. Batman, please. Let's get out of here. There is no need to tell me twice. I fly out of the door, dragging Shawa-chan with me. We barely have any time left to leave the apartment before the white sauce floods it. I put on my jacket and scarf in the stairwell and we race through it. Scared as hell, we fail to realize we stumble upon the park and our escape of the macabre. Feeling safe, we stop to catch our breaths. Should just be breath. My house is gone. Weren't we renting? All I have left is a coupon for shawarma that is stuffed in my jacket pocket. But I'll never use it because that shop sucks. Are you okay? I turn around to face Shawa-chan. Well, hey, I met her, so things aren't that bad. I feel better now. The fresh air helped. Only now I realize in this cold weather she is wearing a thin dress. You're freezing. Let's go somewhere warm, at least to the store. Don't worry, I don't feel cold. I never get cold. What else would you expect from the perfect shawarma? But I wouldn't mind going to your favorite shawarma shop. Maybe there we'll find out what to do with that awful white sauce. That's a good idea. We're lucky it's open 24 hours a day. We walk leisurely toward the park's exit. The entire time I cannot take my eyes off Shawa-chan. Is there a glow coming from her? Maybe my life would have been better if I had met her sooner. It would have been filled without the tedious gray days and lonely nights. But it's never too late to change everything, right? I start to immerse myself in fantasies of a beautiful, bright future, full of happy moments, and the best shawarma of my life. The real world slips away, except for my new companion. She looks frightened again. Katya, what is that behind your back? I slowly turn around. Run! We run away again, saving our lives and the rest of our sanity. Phew, I think we got away. I don't think so. I looked to Showa-chan, who was shaking with fear. What's wrong? I can feel them getting closer. Those yelling freaks in a pot? I try to listen indeed. There is a growing hum, rapidly approaching us. They won't just leave us alone. I'll have to deal with them once and for all. I let those freaks scare Shawa-chan. I won't let those freaks scare Shawa-chan any longer. A moment later, they are already in range. Is it just me, or do these things get blacker and blacker every time? And yelling louder. Hey, you, stop chasing us. But they only began to shake more violently in response. Don't say I didn't warn you. I smashed snow together in my palms, and then clunked the freezing ball at those yellers with all my might. Bullseye. Those freaks shake and yell harder than usual. Didn't like it? Without thinking, I launch another snowball, but the devils dodge it. Damn it. Kachio, watch out. After the successful maneuver, the yellers go on the offensive. A flurry of snowballs smeared with soot and dirt fly at me. It happens so fast that I am unable to dodge. Hey, how about this? Without time to ponder the next move, I send a few more snowballs in their direction. Not all the icy projectiles reach their target, but one does hit the loudest of the bunch, right in the forehead. The freaks squeal, as if it is a stone and not a ball of snow. Aim for the head. Exactly. You should have gone for the head. A battle to the death. But the enemy is too strong. For every 5 snowballs thrown, I receive 10 in return. Head to toe, I quickly become covered in mud and soot. And my hands are frozen because I don't have gloves on. We have to retreat. No, I still can fight. With difficulty, Shawa-chan leads me away from the battlefield. After some time, the wild yelling fades. Slowly, but surely we advance towards our goal. But our strength is running out, and the darkness around us starts to thicken. I can barely stand on my feet anymore, but Shawa-chan is helping me to walk. The bitterness of defeat also keeps me upright. Just a little longer, and I would definitely have beaten them. I don't doubt it, but a wise warrior should always know when to retreat. You're right, I need to recover, and there's only one place to do that. Shawarma shop. We did it. But this place looks different now. It is as though darkness has swallowed it. Although maybe it's because I've never been here at night. Wait, what is that awful white souse is waiting for us inside? Nothing feels unsettling, though. However, there is an unusually strong aura of tranquility emanating from this place. I glance at Shawa-chan. She nods with approval, and then we hurriedly enter. Inside it is the same as usual. Nothing has changed. Is the shawarma shop still open? I guess so. This is my chance, a chance to taste their delicious shawarma one more time. Forgetting everything in the world, I head for the cash register. Hey, Vadim! You're here for more? I can't say I like the shawarma with the special sauce, so I want to get the regular one this time. A regular one? Yes. Suddenly my eyes begin to darken, and my legs stop holding me up. Hey, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. I don't think so. I'm going to call an ambulance. A little later in the hospital. We have a patient admitted today. Looks like food poisoning. A little later in the shawarma shop. As I expected, she's back. Does that mean everything went according to plan? Something definitely happened to her. Did she notice that it wasn't like regular food poisoning? She probably thought the sauce had gone bad or something like that. But she doesn't know that I just can't make bad shawarma. It's just this one was special. Are you trying to kill me? Dude, what's wrong with you, man? Especially for foodies like her. But I can't know for sure if she sees her. The human mind is the greatest mystery. Perhaps if I were human, then I would have a much better understanding of what is going on with her. Okay, so you're an outer space alien. Dude, man, what are you from, like, our solar system? Our galaxy? I mean, are we a Milky Way galaxy? Are we Andromeda, Pegasus? Are you from the fucking Bowie's Void? How far did you travel to make a fucking shawarma shop? But there's nothing to regret. I would be the envy of many Earthlings since I have the status of Solar System Shawarma Master. Today I took a big step toward the perfect shawarma recipe and the title of Grand Shawarma Master. But the experiment isn't over. She said something about the last day. Did she really think I was closing my restaurant? Yeah, it said on the fucking front of your store, man. What a silly girl. I just wanted to move into a big, cozy place on the next street over. Thanks for reading the demo version. Fear and Loathing in Samara. Cool. Yay! We will come back to more of this at some other point. But yeah, thanks for listening to this, and I will probably do more of this game. I mean, there's two more demos on this, but I'll probably, before I return to the rest of this game, I mean, there's the Broken Inside demo. I'll try that because it had a really cute picture. Anyway, bye.